Hi, everyone. It's been a long time since I've spoken in front of a group, so I got some cheat sheets I might refer to. I wanted to start out, I don't think anyone mentioned it. Let's thank Marta and the Chamber for IdeaCamp and some of the other stuff they're putting together. I think it's a great thing they're doing. And Marta, thank you for letting me go last after people had a couple of drinks. That kind of helps a little bit. But basically, I wanted to talk about creating a need and selling an idea here in Bay County. Just help me out here with a show of hands. How many people have lived in Bay County for, let's say, 3 years? Keep them up. 5 years? 7 years? 10 years? 20 years? Fantastic. So 20 years pretty much is when we go. Let's go 25. You know what? I'm just going to throw out a gift certificate to the longest one. 30 years? 40 years? 50 years? You're a native. I don't want to know your age. Okay, 60 years? I'm just going to give it to her because she's in front. All right, I'm giving you a gift certificate. Anyways, where I'm going with that is I've been in Bay County for 13 years. I took 3 years off and did a consulting job in Birmingham, but I learned a lot about business here versus other parts of the country. I've worked in Chicago, Omaha, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Minneapolis as a consultant, and Bay County is the most unique place that I've ever worked, and I swore to my wife after a year, I said, there is no way we're staying here. And it's 13 years later, and we came back here because we miss this community so much. I think the previous speaker touched on a really good base about Bay County has a perception of being something, and it's changing dramatically. And what my topic of speech is creating a need and selling an idea. So I'm going to kind of tell a story of what worked for me in Bay County and the companies that I've worked for. I don't profess to have any magic secrets or have the keys to success. This is what worked for me. Marta asked me to share it, so that's what I'm going to do. When I came here in 2000, I went to work for a produce company called St. Clair's Produce. Has anyone heard of that? Anyone in the hospitality? Okay, wonderful. It's really embarrassing. Our first warehouse is everyone familiar with that wonderful gentleman's establishment, the Golden Nugget on 15th Street? Our first warehouse was across the street in that fruit stand that our warehouse that was refrigerated was about half the size of this room. And my friend Darren St. Clair, who I'd met through another business, said, hey, you want to help me out? I'm starting a produce company. And I said, sure. So the first thing that we did was we had 7 wholesale accounts, and I thank God for people like Roy Santini and the Butch Kisses and other people that supported local business. But long story short, we kind of wanted to find out what would make us unique and what would give us a niche. So we wanted to create a need in Bay County of what we felt would be something unique that no one else was doing. So I literally went around to 50 restaurants and asked, or resorts and hotels, what can we do that your current supplier's not doing for wholesale produce? So, well, Chris, it'd be great if we could get same-day orders. Sometimes we have 70 people for an IdeaCamp, and we run out of food, and I have to order the night before. So if anyone has pulled from the labor pool in Panama City, you know it can be somewhat diverse and a little, I don't want to use the word unreliable, but erratic would probably be safe. And we went, and every restaurant said the exact same thing. I want same-day delivery, Chris. Darren, I want same-day delivery. I want to call you at 10 and get it by 1. I called our competitors, said, are you guys doing that? Heck no, Chris. There's absolutely no way we can do something like that. So, all right. So we went back around, and we created a need. The need was same-day delivery service and produce. So I want to share with you the kind of numbers we did, and I don't want to get into specifics, or Darren would shoot me if he was ever around, but first year, we had $120,000 in business when I came on board. We went to 7 figures in 8 months by meeting the need of our clients here in Panama City. So I thought I knew everything there was about produce. I'm 41 now. Back then, I was 28. Of course, every 28-year-old knows everything in the world about everything. So I said, well, gosh, I guess we can do that. You know, we'll just start our trucks later, and then we'll have our earlier trucks. Within 2 years, I think we had 92% of the market share here. Within 4 years, we had 50% of Dothan, 50% of Destin. And we sold the idea to the companies that weren't doing business. Hey, you want help managing your inventory? Order same day. Hurricane's going to hit. You're not going to do any business. My product goes bad. Don't order. That's okay. We became a big part of the community. And that's kind of why I wanted to raise the hands. I learned very quickly in Bay County as an outsider when I moved here that Bay County takes care of their own. And I learned that lesson, I want to say the hard way, because the first 6 months of that 27, 28 years of age, no, you're going to do it my way. This is how we're going to deliver. That didn't work very well. And within 2 years, I learned the hard lesson and made some incredible friends by doing it their way. So the first thing I want to touch on creating that need and selling that idea is listen to your customers, find out what they want, and then, as silly as this sounds, make sure you're making a profit doing it. People would come to me and say, Chris, your pricing is a little bit higher than a Cisco or a US Foods, or I'm using this company out of Atlanta for produce. And I'd say, well, are they hitting you 7 days a week, 2 to 3 times a day, including Sunday delivery? No. Is that worth something to you? Yes, okay. If you need an order at 7 at night and I got to go in my car and go pick it up for you. True story. Does everyone remember Ruthie T's? 8 years in a row I had Thanksgiving dinner with Eric Hernandez because he needed an order on Thanksgiving Day. Eric grew to Montego Bay's, grew to some other restaurants, and my Thanksgiving for 8 years in Bay County was spent eating with these wonderful restaurateurs in this town. But my point being that I really learned the hard way and then the easy way that A, Bay County takes care of their own, and B, find out what they need and service it. I know produce. I know that business. But I thought my way was the best. But Bay County educated me, and I've started applying that to every consulting job I've had since then. For those of you that know me, I'm now the marketing manager and the event manager for Fish Ale here at the restaurant you're at. By the way, how's the food and the beer? Is it good? Anything we need to work on? Anything you didn't like? Well, that's great. Well, tell me in private outside. But I guess where I'm going with that is we've tried to create the same thing here in Panama City. And for those of you that have lived here a long time, it amazes me that the Hills, who are the owners of this place, Selma and Leo, took such a huge risk in opening a place. Can you imagine in Bay County 5 years ago, I'm going to charge you $9 for 9 ounces of beer? We still get some customers that come in and say, is that for a 12-pack? No, it's for 1 beer. But what the Hills did is they created a need, and now we're selling the idea here. Bay County does not have an upscale gastropub. A gastropub is defined as a place that serves upscale food and upscale beer in a pub setting. We're not Firefly, we're not Saltwater, but we like to think we have decent food. We think it's great, and we've got the best selection of beer. I'll put it against anyone in North Florida. The owners of the place, Leo and Selma, literally are in here 60 to 70 hours a week. They rotate the taps every week. If you go down to Pensacola, you go to Atlanta, you go to a place like Hop Jack's, World of Beer, they do a great job. But they do not rotate their taps. They don't listen to their customers. On Facebook today, we had 1,200 people see our post, and over 30 of them suggest to one simple question, guys, what beer do you want here at Fish Ale? 30 people signed back. So to me, that shows that at least there's a little bit of a market for people that love the product that the Hills are trying to put out here. What I really want to stress, though, is for me, I learned that Bay County is all about taking care of your own, working with the people in the system, and as silly as this sounds, support the people you do business with. We had a standing rule at our produce company for all 47 employees. You do not eat anywhere but places that do business with St. Clair's Produce. We did our Christmas parties with them. We hired their sons to work in the warehouse when they were 18 years old. It was all about being part of this community. The owner of the company was from New Hampshire. I'm originally from Kansas City. And we wanted to be a part of this community in the best way we knew how. And for what our business was, it was the hospitality industry. So I guess I really just want to sum up. I'm not going to go the full 15 minutes here, but our success story, both at St. Clair's Produce and then here at Fish Ale, was really about getting to know the community, getting to know the people, getting involved. Instead of me telling them how to do business, they told me how to do business. Once they told us how to do that, we created that need and started selling that idea to everyone else. So hope you're having a great time tonight. Come by. I want to throw out one more thing. Fish Ale is big, and we've done this with every company. I've worked here in Panama City. If you guys are looking for a partnership, nonprofit events, I fully welcome you to call us and talk about this room. We do a nonprofit event every quarter. A lot of people, I assume a lot of people in this room didn't even know we had this kind of space or area. I absolutely encourage you to get a hold of me. I would love to help out in any way I can for the community. It goes for the Hills, the owners too. So please, if there's anything we can do for you and help you grow your business or the community here, we'd love to help out. But thank you so much for coming out tonight.